Hello and welcome back to Microbial Concepts. This is part 2 related to culture media, okay, knowing microbiology related culture media properly. So in this video we will be covering XLDCA, MSA that is mannitol salt agar, then blood agar, sabrodextrose agar and MHA that is Miller-Hinton agar. Okay, so this is part 2. If you had missed watching the first part which contains information related to nutrient agar, then McConkey's agar, citramide, EMB agar. Okay, then please watch that part also. Okay, so let's start for the second video or the second part. Next is mannitol salt agar, widely used for Staphylococcus aureus. Okay, so a mannitol salt agar test is used to identify and isolate the presence of Staphylococcus aureus in a clinical specimen, right? Because it is a pathogen, right? So you can have a clinical sample tested by using mannitol salt agar, which makes the mannitol salt agar both selective and differential and indicator medium. Okay, you can see here in picture there are the one which is positive culture, it has converted the media around it yellow. Okay, and one which is negative, it has shown no media change, color change, right? So that is indicator medium. The production of acid, it changes the color of the medium. That's why it is also called as indicator medium. Okay, the primary purpose of mannitol salt agar is to determine or select bacteria that has the ability to grow in the high salt environment. Okay, so as there is a high salt concentration, it is named as mannitol salt agar. Okay, so usually Staphylococci has the ability to tolerate the high salt concentration. Okay, so mannitol salt, it usually inhibits other gram positive and gram negative bacteria. Okay, so you can selectively isolate Staphylococci, or you can detect the presence of Staphylococci in your sample. The peptones and beef extract which are present in the mannitol salt agar, they supply all the essential nutrients for growth such as vitamins, nitrogen, minerals and amino acids. Okay, so all the nutrients are supplied by peptone and beef extract. Then there is, as the name says, high salt concentration. So there is sodium chloride which is around 7.5% concentration. Okay, so it will result in the inhibition of species other than Staphylococci. Okay, only the Staphylococci will grow. It will support the growth of Staphylococci. The addition of salt supplies the important electrolytes needed for this transport and osmotic balance. Okay, then the main role in the media, it is of mannitol. Okay, so it is a carbohydrate, a carbon source. So it is a fermentable carbohydrate. The process of fermentation produces acid, which is detected by the phenol red indicator, and it aids in the differentiation of staphylococcal species. Okay, so mostly coagulase positive staphylococci, that is Staphylococcus aureus, it produces yellow colonies and a surrounding yellow medium as shown in the picture. Okay, while coagulase negative staphylococci will produce red colonies and no color change of the phenol red indicator. Okay, so if you get a question that why mannitol salt agar, in mannitol salt agar you see a color change, because it has mannitol, which is a fermentable carbohydrate, and when it is fermented, acid is produced which gets react with the phenol red indicator, and thus the color change, that is from pinkish red to yellow, a color change is shown. Okay, so this is the answer. The next is XLD agar or XLDCA. Okay, some they also write it as XLD. So it stands for xylose lysine deoxycholate agar, widely used for Salmonella typhimurium. Okay, so XLD agar, it has been recommended for the identification of Enterobacteriaceae and for the microbiological testing. Okay, so in pharmaceuticals for Salmonella, XLDCA is recommended. Okay, so the media formulation, it does not allow the overgrowth of other organisms over Salmonella and Shigella. Okay, so you can get Salmonella or Shigella on XLD. So samples suspected of containing enteric pathogens like Salmonella and Shigella, along with other mixed flora. They are initially they are enriched in modified semi-solid RV medium base. Okay, so RV medium is Rapaport vacilleatis. Many a times liquid media or liquid small vials of RV media are used for initial enrichment of the sample. Okay, so in pharma industries, 1 ml or 2 ml of water sample is added to RV medium, and if it shows growth, turbidity and color change, then that medium is used further to streak, okay, or to have a isolation on XLDCA. Okay, so the medium, that is RV medium, is used initially for the enrichment, and then XLD agar is used. Okay, so the medium, it contains yeast extract which provides nitrogen and vitamins which are required for the growth. Okay, so though the sugars which are xylose, lactose and sucrose, they provide source of fermentable carbohydrates. Xylose is mainly incorporated into the medium since it is not fermented by the Shigella, okay, but practically by all enterics. So this helps in the identification of Shigella species. Okay, so the medium contains sodium chloride, which maintains the osmotic balance of the medium. Then there is lysine. It is included to differentiate the Salmonella group from the non-pathogens. Okay, so Salmonella rapidly ferments xylose and exhausts the supply. As Shigella, it does not ferment the xylose, right? So if Salmonella is present, then the xylose will be rapidly fermented by the Salmonella. So subsequently, lysine is decarboxylated by the enzyme lysine decarboxylase to form amines with reversion to an alkaline pH that mimics the Shigella reaction. Okay, so however, to prevent this reaction by lysine positive coliforms, lactose and sucrose are added to produce acid in excess. Okay, so prevent that reaction which Shigella also mimics. To prevent that, lactose and sucrose are added, okay, to have excess acid production, so that the reaction which is shown by Shigella, that can be prevented. Okay, so degradation of xylose, lactose and sucrose to acid causes phenol red indicator to change its color, okay, to from red to yellow. Okay, so bacteria that decarboxylate lysine to cadaverine can be recognized by the appearance of a red coloration around the colonies due to an increase in pH. Okay, so one or the isolate like Salmonella, if the bacteria that uh, decarboxylates the lysine to cadaverine can be recognized by the appearance of a red coloration. Okay, so you will see a red coloration around the colony due to the increase in pH. Okay, so this reaction can be proceed simultaneously or successively, and this may cause pH indicators to exhibit various shades of color during the incubation. Okay, so that can be from yellow to red on prolonged incubation, right? So to add to the differentiating ability of this formulation, an H2S, that is hydrogen sulfide indicator system, is additionally incorporated in this formulation. Okay, so that contains sodium thiosulfate and ferric ammonium citrate. Okay, these are included for the visualization of hydrogen sulfide which is produced, resulting in the formation of colonies with the black center. Okay, so this is actually used by Salmonella. Okay, so have the differentiation, the H2S system is incorporated. Okay, so the non-pathogenic H2S producers, they do not decarboxylase lysine, and therefore acid reaction produced by them, it prevents the blackening of the colonies. Okay, so one which are non-pathogenic and which are non H2S producers, they will have no black colonies. Okay, but the Salmonella species, it will show black colonies on XLD agar. Then next is Mueller-Hinton agar. Okay, so widely we use it for antibiotic sensitivity testing. Okay, so Mueller-Hinton medium is it contains beef extract, then acid hydrolysate of casein, starch, and agar. Okay, so the beef extract and acid hydrolysate of casein, it provides nitrogen, vitamins, carbon, then amino acid, sulfur, and other essential nutrients for the growth of the bacteria. Okay, then starch is added to absorb any toxic metabolites which are produced by the bacteria or the microbe which is in test. Okay, so even starch hydrolysis, it yields dextrose, and that also serves as additional source of energy. Okay, so the use of this suitable media for testing of susceptibility of microorganisms to sulfonamides and trimethoprims is essential. Okay, so to test or to have susceptibility testing of these groups of antibiotics, widely Mueller-Hinton, that is MH-Agar, is used. Okay, so I hope you have done this in your practicals. We do swab we use swab or spread plate technique to have a mat growth, right? And then we inoculate antibiotic disc, or we do well inoculation for antibiotics, and then we keep it for incubation, and next day we see if there are or if there is any zone of inhibition. Okay, so that is how simply a antibiotic susceptibility test is done. Okay, so the MH agar is widely used to measure the major use of Mueller-Hinton agar is for antibiotic susceptibility, and it has become a standard medium for Kirby-Bayer method, and its performance is specified by the NCCLS lab. Okay, it is also used for cultivating Neisseria. Okay, so why MHA, that is Mueller-Hinton agar, is used for antibiotic susceptibility testing? Okay, why not other medias like nutrient agar? Okay, so this is the answer. So it is a non-selective and non-differential media. Okay, so it will support a wide range of microbes. So you can grow a pathogenic and even a non-pathogenic bacteria easily. So it means that almost all microbes can be plated on this media and they will grow properly. Second is it contains starch, and it is known for absorption of toxins, or it is known to absorb toxins which are released by bacteria. Okay, so it is actually very important because they can interfere with the antibiotics. Okay, so to avoid that, starch is added. Then it is a loose agar. That means it allows the better diffusion of antibiotics than most other media. Okay, a better diffusion gives good zone of inhibition, right? So that is why MHA is used. Then fourth is good reproducibility of susceptibility testing. Okay, so if you repeat your experiment, then you will get a good reproducibility about or in case of your results. Okay, so it has low in sulfonamides, trimethoprim, and tetracycline inhibitors. Okay, so this medium, it has very low inhibitors for these antibiotic groups. Okay, so these are five reasons for using MHA. At least try to remember at least three. Okay, try to answer 3 points from this. The next is blood agar. Okay, in I guess second year you learn about blood agar. Okay, so it is a type of bacterial growth medium, and it is used to grow fastidious microbes. Okay, so the previous examples of culture media we have seen, they were used to grow non-fastidious microbes. Okay, here fastidious microbes like streptococci, to grow and to isolate streptococci we use blood agar. Okay, so the ingredient which is required for streptococci here is blood. Okay, so it will grow only if the blood is present in medium. Okay, so that's why we name it as fastidious microbe. So such organisms, they do not grow well using ordinary growth mediums. Okay, so they need a special treatment like blood. Okay, so a special ingredient like blood. Okay, so that's why blood agar is used. So they only grow in blood agar because such medium has inhibitors for some family or other families of bacteria. The medium needs to be heated to inactivate the inhibitors and release a specific growth factor. So once blood agar is heated, it will be converted into chocolate agar. Okay, so the color will change and there will be some reactions that we will see. So blood agar is a differential medium because it helps detect and differentiate hemolytic bacteria. Okay, so one which causes lysis of blood cells, those are known as hemolytic bacteria. Okay, so to differentiate between these species from Streptococcus genus, blood agar is used. So it detects the hemolysis of cytolytic toxins that are secreted, cytolytic toxins that are secreted by some strains of bacteria. Okay, so what is the difference between blood agar and chocolate agar? So blood agar and chocolate agar are quite similar, but they differ in the preparation. So the blood agar, it contains or it consists of many ingredients, but the primary ingredient is blood, which came from a sheep or a rabbit. Okay, and it is treated and water and few other ingredients are added to sterilize the solution. The blood is treated to remove the fibrin, which is the clotting factor of the blood. Okay, so on the other, so this is about the blood agar, and on other hand, chocolate agar, it contains the lysed RBC or red blood cells. Okay, so which turns brown, giving the medium its chocolate color. Okay, so like we see or we read before that once the blood agar is heated, the blood agar will get converted to the chocolate agar. Okay, so the lysing or the lysis of the red blood cell can be done by heating. Okay, so you can get chocolate agar. So that was the difference between. Then next is sabrod dextrose agar. Okay, so the sabrod dextrose agar is a selective medium primarily used for the isolation of dermatophytes. So dermatophytes are group of fungi which are known to cause skin diseases in animals and humans. Okay, so the acidic pH of this medium, that is pH about 5, that is acidic. Okay, so it inhibits the growth of bacteria but permits the growth of yeast and most filamentous fungi. Okay, so that's why SDA, that is sabrod dextrose agar, is widely used for isolation, or we can say screening for fungi like aspergillus, then say candida. Okay, so both of these can be easily grown on SDA. It is also widely used in pharmaceutical industries. Okay, so the picture which is given here, it shows growth of candida. Okay, so this medium is also employed to determine the mycological evaluation of food, contamination in cosmetics, and clinically to aid in the diagnosis of yeast and fungal infection. Okay, so you can see it has a wide use, or in many fields it is used. Okay, so the SDA media is or it contains enzymatic digest of casein and animal tissues. Okay, so this provides nutrition or all the sources for amino acids, nitrogenous compounds, and carbon for the growth of fungi and yeast. Okay, so dextrose is the fermentable carbohydrate which is actually incorporated in the high concentrations of the carbon as the carbon and energy source. Okay, so this was about sabrod dextrose agar, which is used for fungi. Okay, selectively we had listed or we had seen one example for fungi, and others are widely used for bacterial growth. Okay, or for selection and differentiation of bacteria. Okay, so this was about. Okay, so we are done. So I hope this video is useful to you all. For practical basis, we can or you can have many questions, and I hope you will get answers for these questions from these videos. Okay, so do watch part 1 and part 2. Okay, so thank you for watching once again, and do like my videos, share these videos with your friends, and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram by same handle, that is Microbial Concepts. Okay, thank you.